I'm just playing for y'all. Hello, beautiful people, and I always get so excited when I am to come on here. And of course, tonight I'm in this big old sleeping shirt because, as you can see by the title, tonight we're having a late night vent session, and I've been wanting to do one of these videos for so long, but it's just that the topics that I wanted to speak on, they can be really touchy, and I'm not quite sure how everybody would take it. But regardless, I'm going to try to be as not sugar coated, but as decent with it, if that makes sense. Anywho, check out my nails first because I know you want to see them because I am doing the most with them. Catching that? Anywho, let's start. Okay, so now that I can be serious, the first topic that I want to speak on. Oh, wait, sorry, y'all, but I done got my braids done too. Yes, I did, and it's like really long, like to my tailbone. Anywho, that's not the point. The point is, all right. So let's come again. As I was saying, if I rudely interrupted myself, the first topic that I want to speak on is false advertising in the natural hair community. And I can start so many places and I can go around this so much. Alright, so let's just start from the beginning. How about we start with YouTube? Okay, I remembered when I was in the mid part of my natural hair journey. I'm going to keep on clapping you. I used to go on YouTube because I wasn't really conscious about what to do with my hair because I had my hair relaxed since I was about 9. So I used to go on YouTube a lot for ideas about what to do with my hair and how to handle it and all of that. And to be honest, to be really honest, I used to, how should I say? I used to get things that were helpful to me, but then a little while after, it kind of, should I say, digressed from things that are actually helpful to people viewing videos or looking for natural hair content or natural hair information. It digressed from that to more so trying to sell an image or sell a brand in natural hair community. And sometimes I even notice it within myself. It's almost like, what's the word, you know how there's colors and there's texturism. There is this, how should I put it, there is this stigma going around. Well, I shouldn't say going around because it's not like a gossip or anything, but it's just like this mental overcast whereby a lot of people in the natural hair community, on both half, on like influencers in natural hair community and people who are viewing and who are following the natural hair community or trend, which it shouldn't really be a trend because it's natural. Anyways, there's a stigma about this certain type of hair that is acceptable, and it's not even this Becky type of hair. It's more like this must have certain qualities type of hair, if you feel me. Must be longer, must be curly or coily enough, must be a certain, must look a certain way to be passable or to be passed in the natural hair community. Because I still up now look at a lot of YouTube videos. That's one of my favorite things to do whilst I have my spare time. And a lot of the time, if I go to look at like a wash and go video or a twist out video, it would never be somebody trying to get their best hair or get their ultimate of what they can get from their hair. It's always them trying to mimic or try to be like this idol or this statue or this image, that we have this mental cast in our hair, in the natural hair community, in our head, in the natural hair community, that what we should be like. Oh, look at how defined I got my curls, or look how curly this curl is, or this side of my hair is more curly than this side, so mine, don't mind that. Oh, my hair isn't curling as good as her hair is, so that means that my hair is damaged, or that my hair has a problem if my hair isn't curly enough, or if it isn't wavy enough, or something like that. That image and that idol that we create for ourselves, what we have been creating for ourselves in the natural hair community, then it isn't acceptable as stands. And although there are a lot of 4C influencers, I find that you still find that people are trying to get to this image, this set image. It's like, let's say I have 4B hair, but let's say I had 4C hair or whatever, right? And then I would do a wash and go. I wouldn't be looking for what I noticed in a lot of videos. I wouldn't be looking for, or I saying I as in the person who's doing the hairstyle or whatever, wouldn't be looking to achieve their best wash and go or their best twist out with their hair texture, whatever, but rather they would be looking for the next person's best texture. And I think it has a lot to do with comparing. I think in one of my earlier videos I talked about comparing your natural hair to people, or comparing your natural hair journey to people. It rips your peace of mind from you. And I think that's one of the major problems, this comparison. And it's not just a length comparison, if her hair is growing faster than mine, but it's hers more defined than mine, is mine more, and it's all of that. So it's kind of like texturism. I think that's the word for it. I didn't look it up, but I think that's the word for it, texturism. And it's really mind-boggling to know that this community, this natural hair community, was created so that we can feel at peace or feel comfortable and go back. Should I say go back? Yeah, go back to our natural hair, go back to our roots, but yet still we're going back to our roots physically, but at the back of our heads we still want to be something else. Please, somebody comment and let me know if you're understanding what I'm trying to say, or if you're catching on, or if you're feeling what I'm trying to say. But it's like almost defeating the purpose of going natural if you're not going to accept your natural. There's no problem if you're not going to accept your natural hair, you want to go back, relax, or you want to braid it up all the time, or whatever it is that you want to do. But it really is mind-boggling that we've created this image that what we should be in the natural hair community. And I think it really is kind of sad. That was a lot. Y'all, this is going to be one hell of a late night vent session because I'm keeping it coming, yes. And also, not only texturism, if that's actually a word, but also there are so many problems in the Black community, from the outside coming in as well as from the inside. And I genuinely feel like a lot has been done to recognize the problem of the stereotyping. And I want to delve into it too much right now, but I think a lot have been done to appreciate the Black community more as of recent, but there are still problems. I'm also like, I focus mainly on the problems within our community rather than the problems on the outside coming in, because that's a whole different ball game when you think about it all together. But problems with inside the Black community and with inside the natural hair community, inside the Black community, and all of those things, right? Like, there are people, trust me, that's why I say I was like really careful to do this video, because I really wanted to do it a long time ago, but I just wasn't sure. but there are people inside of the black community. Please don't get offended, or if you do, take it with a grain of salt or whatever. But there are people within the black community who they're against racism. They're against racism. However, they're for colorism, but they're not for colorism. Just like, it's like, how somebody would be racist and they know that they're racist. Yeah, I don't like black people, or no, I don't like white people, no, I don't like Indian people, whatever. They know that they're racist. It's like people within the black community, and sorry if I come from the black community, because I rep black people, black nationalism all over here. But there are people but we can't fix outside problems if we don't fix inside problems, right? It's like putting on makeup on a face full of acne. Just clear your skin, sis. So, as I was saying, there are people inside of the black community, they're against racism, which is coming from the outside in. However, they're blindly for colorism. They're colorists, and they're bringing down their own kind that they support when it comes from outside intervention, that they represent when it comes from outside intervention. However, they are also bringing down their own kind on the inside of the community. And that doesn't make any sense. It's like, I have this one WhatsApp contact, right? And she was like, well, there was this, when was around the time with the protesting in America and so on about Black Lives Matter, and she posted that she doesn't want anybody to come to her talking about Black Lives don't matter, whatever, because she'll cuss them out, whatever, right? Yeah, alright, fine. But then there was this one time I was walking down the street with her, and she saw this guy, right? And she was like, he black and ugly. I was like, excuse me? You see, it's those things. It's not that, like, when someone is racist, they're openly racist, and you can tell that they're racist and so on, right? They know that they're racist too. But what's happening inside the black community, I find that there's this blindness to colorism, and there's this also the stigma where some people don't even believe that colorism is an actual thing. They'll be like, no, but we're all black. Yeah, we're all black. We're all within this black community. But within the community, there are also problems. Colorism. And it's like this. Because I saw this video on Instagram one day, right? And this girl, she was doing this skit, right? And she gave a beautiful explanation of it, right? About how people are colorists and they don't really realize that they are colorism. But there was something that she said that really struck me. What did she say? It's like when people say that there is no such thing as colorism, right? She was giving the example that, okay, there was this the example she was giving was basically two women in a room, and one said that colorism exists and the other one said that no, it doesn't. We're all beautiful. You know how, like, when the Black Lives Matter protest is going on and people are shouting out all lives matter, it was kind of like that. But the example she gave was like, okay, what did she say? You know how they're usually tall, skinny, slim, models and so on. That's usually the typical physical traits of a model, right? And finally, for once, there is a brand, or there's a line, or there's an opportunity rather for plus size models to get a shot. But then to get a shot and to acknowledge that they're beautiful too, and that they are worth being out on the stage, out on the runway, whatever too. But then the skinny model would come in and say, oh, but we're all beautiful. Yeah, we know you're all beautiful, Cindy, because no one has ever told you otherwise. But for years upon years, it's been forced that fat models, using that as an example, aren't beautiful, or fat people or whatever, or thicker people rather, aren't. So that was the example she was giving with colorism. No one's saying that all lives doesn't matter. No one's saying that only all the attention should be focused on a certain type of people or whatever. We're just saying inclusivity. Now that it's someone else's turn to get the spotlight or someone else's turn to be acknowledged, don't try to take it away. Don't be that person shouting in the crowd, all lives matter, or we're all beautiful, or we're all this, or we're all that. We know that you are this. We haven't heard anything for our entire lives. But in the Black community, however, we really need to work on that. And yeah, I think I had so much more to say on this, but oh my goodness, I don't want to get too much into it because I want people getting the wrong idea of what I'm trying to say. I'm not quite sure if I'm confusing anybody right now. And another thing, and this one is like probably the most difficult one that I'll have to speak on tonight. But hey, it's a late night vent session and I'm going to let it all out. Let it go. Let it go. Can't hold me back anymore. Alright, and it's on the topic of forced integration. My thoughts on integration are so heavy, and I feel like the word integration in itself says division. I don't know about you, but when I hear integration, I think, sorry, I know it's probably supposed to be opposites, but when I hear integration, I think of division. Because talking about integration, bringing people together. So this is what we're saying, right? When I hear integration, this is what comes to my mind. This set of people, and this set of people, and this set of people, and this set of people, they'll all come together. We're still classifying them as different sets. And we're bringing them together. We're integrating. We're coming together. That's what I think of integration as. Hence, that's why I think integration sometimes could be forced. There could be forced integration. Because if we're already from the beginning categorizing people and telling people that you're from a different set, and you're from a different set, you're from a different set, and you're from a different set. But hey, you know what? We'll all come together and we'll integrate. And that's where a lot of hypocrisy and like a strife and all these things build up and tension builds up, because I feel like you cannot force integration. You cannot force integration. If people don't want to integrate, if people don't want to come together, then you cannot force it on them. Forcing integration could be so much more detrimental than just letting people live separate. Yes, I'm going to say it again. Forcing integration is so much more detrimental than just letting people live separate. It's like you have two neighbors that are always nigging and nagging and fighting with each other, right? And then you're trying to bring peace by letting them come in the same house. That makes no sense. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but that makes no sense to me. I think those two neighbors would have been way better off if you put one on this side of the border and one on that other side of the border. And sorry if I sound small-minded, but the point I'm trying to bring across here is that you cannot force integration. Rather, there should be, if people want to come together, and I'm all for, I want to say coming together because that's still, different subgroups joining. But if people willingly want to do it, then that would be acceptable. Then it would work. It's like trying to put two people in a relationship who don't love each other. You know how long time ago parents used to choose their husbands and choose their wives for their children? That's how it is. It wouldn't work. Probably it worked back then, but trust me, it won't work now. And that's how it is. It's topic of forced integration. I just believe if people want to come together, they naturally will. If people want to live side by side, they naturally will. It has to take somebody their own understanding, their own thinking, their own cleanliness of their heart to come together if they really want to. You cannot force integration. I do not believe in it, nor would I support it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I do not support integration. It's forced integration that we're talking about. Trying to bring groups of people together who do not want to be together. You'd only create more strife. But if people naturally and willingly want to come together, then they will. And I feel like that's just the way it is. So it's more like brotherhood rather than integration. Yeah. Because it's like when you look at an animal, let's say you look at let's say if you look at a cat, right? You don't say, oh, this is a black cat, and this is a gold cat, and this is a brown cat, and this is a gray cat. You'll just look at it and you'll say, okay, this is a cat, right? But when we look at each other as human beings, we say, okay, this is a black woman, this is a white woman, this is a alien, or whoever. We, of course, not aliens, but you get the point that I'm trying to make. We segregate each other. So when we're done segregating each other, then we speak about integration, coming together. It's like, it just won't work, not in my eyes. If people want to come together and have this brotherhood and have this close-knitness, then that I will definitely support it. But as to forced integration, y'all can keep it. And that's on what? That's on what? On period. Okay, y'all, so last topic to wrap this talk all up would be, I feel like I put this deliberately last because I feel like it will capture all the other points that I mentioned before, which is self-love. I mean, I feel like if you love yourself, if you genuinely love yourself, you wouldn't be bothered. You wouldn't be bothered about whose hair texture is what. You wouldn't even be bothered about what yours is, what the other person's own is, or what color of the skin this person is, or what color skin that person has, whatever. You wouldn't be bothered about who's living next to you, who's walking together with you in the streets. These things wouldn't bother you because you genuinely love yourself. And it's just like, when you love yourself, people don't matter to you. People don't matter to you, but people don't bother you. There isn't this kind of heaviness or this weight on your shoulders. It's more of a relaxed feeling, more of a, okay, you do you type of feeling, more like, yeah, alright, good type of feeling. It's just that, oh my goodness, self-love is kind of difficult to explain because it's more so of a feeling of serenity, of peace, of tranquility, just lightness. It's a beautiful feeling. And what can I say? Okay, y'all, so today's Wednesday. Well, today isn't Wednesday, but when you see this video, it will be Wednesday because I post every Wednesdays. Anywho, so Friday, coming the 16th, is my birthday. So yeah, that's why I have my hair and my nails done. So yeah, y'all, so I have my hair done. Right, I have my braids in and I love them. Anyways, so natural hair content. Yeah, so probably about a month you won't see any natural hair content. Sorry, don't leave me. Okay, good. Yeah, so probably about a month from me you won't be seeing really any natural hair content. Probably will speak on topics, but as for me doing my natural hair, not so much of it, unless you want to see me on my scalp. Do you want to see me on my scalp? Do you not know how to oil your scalp? I know. Doing too much of these nails. Anyways, so if you came to the end of this video and you enjoyed, please do give a thumbs up. If you didn't, then leave a comment and let me know your thoughts on what you did not agree with me with, and we can have a conversation. And if you're not already subscribed, then please do so, and